Hey guys, what's going on? I just got out of the gym right now and I want to make a quick video for you. Today we're going to be talking all about Max Hold Sport. Now this stuff right here is pretty interesting. A lot of you know about this stuff, some of you don't. But I'm going to go in, I'm going to break down some of the information about this stuff that's kind of interesting. And yeah, hopefully we'll learn some stuff. So Max Hold Sport, this right here is called a scalp protector, or this is a pre-adhesive application that you use to increase the longevity of your hold time. Now, Walker claims that Max Hold Sport, one of the beautiful things that they claim is that you can actually go and sweat or go about your normal activity instead of waiting 24 or 48 hours for it to cure your adhesive, that you can pretty much, like after an hour, immediately go out and start sweating, start going about your normal life instead of having to wait that whole time for the bond to cure. And the reason for that is because during the curing process, without the scalp protector, water gets into the bond as it's curing and actually weakens it, as well as the oils and the other things that are secreted from our skin. So what's really interesting about this, right, is that it forms a barrier between your skin and the adhesive. It forms almost like I don't want to say a second skin, but it forms a layer on top of the skin that the adhesive adheres to. So it acts as almost kind of like a buffer. And it's really, really interesting. I'll talk about my results with it after. But what is in this stuff? Like what is the science behind it, right? So this is actually isopropyl alcohol. It's methacrylate film former and dimethyl phthalate. Okay, so there's three ingredients. Isopropyl alcohol, we know what that is right there. Methacrylate film former. Now I went in and I did some research on what methacrylate film formers are. Now this is something that's been researched, and this is actually used to cause resistance to water inside of products. This actually makes products more water resistant, which makes sense, which is why it might help, right? And dimethyl phthalate, that right there is actually used in a whole bunch of different products, and what it's primarily used for is to make plastics more flexible, which is really, really interesting. There's also some other types of uses out there which are kind of interesting if you want to go and look at. Some of them you'd be like, oh, do I want that on my scalp? Well, you know, that's also something to be considered when using this right here. But so this methacrylate film former is really, really interesting stuff. Let's talk about my experience with it really quick. So to those that are longtime watchers of the channel, you already know this, but to new subscribers, I am the hair system exercise king. I just dubbed myself that title, I guess. But I'm doing CrossFit about 5 to 7 days a week, working out on top of that. I'm always sweating. I'm down in Florida. It's like 80 to 100 degrees here all year round. It's the middle of the summer right now. And, you know, I'm using this stuff. I need to push my hair system to the limit in order to keep up with my lifestyle, really. And I don't live an easy lifestyle, right? So does it work? Yes, it does. Emphatically, it really, really does. So I have been experimenting with and without it. I can go about 10 days without having a Walker Max Hold Sport application underneath my my tape and my adhesive with my unit. With Max Hold Sport, I'm getting at least 14 days. At least 14 days, and that's the most intense thing that I've ever done. I'm actually going more than 14 days this time because I was sick for the past couple days, and it's holding beautifully. As you can see, I'm like actually tugging on it. I can feel it pulling my skin up, and there's nothing that's happening. So this right here is, I mean, it's a fantastic product to extend the bond duration of your adhesive. I really recommend it for that. Now let's talk about, is it the end all be all? So I've been learning a lot about skin pH balance, right? And what that means is the skin changes its pH balance in relation with the products that we're using. You can go back and watch an interview that I did with the CEO of Pro Hair Labs. He's a really, really great guy, and we talked about this. And one thing that we talked about is the use of alcohols and solvents that are very, very potent on the skin. So things like C22, which is probably the most popular adhesive remover on the skin. Isopropyl alcohol is very powerful. It will help make the bond more malleable, and it's inside of Ultra Hold, and a lot of solvents are pretty harsh as well, which can cause skin irritation. It can cause other problems as well, but it upsets the skin pH balance. And what that means is it actually makes your sebaceous glands overactive, which in turn, when a bond is curing, causes the oils to basically become overactive, and it messes up the bond, the curing, right? So is this the end all be all? Is this the best product that is out there? I don't think so. I'm actually talking with Pro Hair Labs right now to try out some of their products. They have some other types of products that are really, really environmentally safe, but are also very, very healthy for you. That is one of the greatest differentiators. I'm not actually getting paid or sponsored by Pro Hair Labs. I wish that we could get a sponsorship going, because I think that I really love their commitment to having really safe and healthy products. And if we're going to be using hair systems and adhesives and scalp protectors and all this stuff for a very, very long time, I mean, we're talking about years of our life, why not give our skin the absolute best, the safest stuff out there? So anyways, guys, this is a brief review. This really does work. For the number one thing, right, it actually decreases the time that it will take for the bond to cure, so that you can go out there and you can go live your life. Now, this is essential for someone as active as me, because if not, I have to wait until the right day during the weekend when I have my off day from, you know, exercise and training and stuff like that, and just chill and also not shower. With this stuff, I can basically say, hey, I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna reapply my hair system, all this kind of stuff, and I'm good to go pretty much whenever. I can apply it at night. Next day I can wake up and go work out if I want to. And that's a big, big advantage. And the other thing, this definitely increases your bond duration time. Let's talk about one of the drawbacks. And this is one of the drawbacks that I have never found anybody else talk about this. And it's something that's just kind of interesting. So if you are applying a hair system yourself, if you are doing it all yourself, which is hard enough, one of the tips and tricks that you can use is to use isopropyl alcohol as kind of if you spray it on your unit, and you shouldn't be spraying it on your scalp because it's harsh, but if you do this, it'll create a time between when the adhesive sets, so that way you can kind of move it around and get it in the perfect position. With this right here, even if you have that isopropyl alcohol, it will bind like a absolute, I don't have a metaphor, like a monkey or something. It really, really grabs on to the unit. I've applied this to my head when I had the tape on the hair system, and I figured, okay, I'm gonna apply some isopropyl alcohol as a kind of a intermediary so that I can get everything moved. No, this thing stuck. The hair system stuck to me immediately, and I was like, whoa, like I can't really move it. So that is, I'm not gonna say it's a disadvantage, but it's something that you have to be careful about if you're doing the hair system application yourself. You have to kind of get it right pretty quickly. Like, you can reset it, but you got to know what you're doing. You can't fiddle around with it for 3 minutes and hope that you get it right. You got to get it right like in the first attempt or two, and like move it around and kind of just like get it done. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. If I'm gonna have a link below for you guys to purchase this stuff from Amazon. I'm gonna probably get like 2 cents if you buy it. It doesn't really do much for the channel, but anyways, it's a place that you can go and you can get it immediately. We'll talk soon.